If you've ever had the pleasure of having Mr. Gavin as a teacher or a coach or an advisor, you can attest to the positive attitude he brings to every situation. His Happy Monday and TGIF salutations can be heard throughout the hallways as he walks by. His approach to life makes others feel special and happy to be in his company. What you may not know, however, are some of the other things he does. He is presently training for a 100K, that is 60 miles, in his weird, barefoot-like, I think they look like monkey feet, footwear, and is on sabbatical preparing to be an Episcopalian priest. He is a man of many talents. And oh, by the way, today's his birthday. So please stand to greet my dear friend and colleague, Tim Gavin.
I want to talk today about integrating mind, body, and spirit. Integrating mind, body, and spirit so that we are led to holding others in high esteem. We live in a world where we talk about self-esteem. However, there is a paradox about building up another person's self-esteem. Oftentimes, when we attempt to build someone else's self-esteem, we are really calling attention to ourselves at the expense of the other person's integrity and dignity. Let me tell you a story to illustrate this point. One summer day, my wife and I went to the pool to relax and to do some reading, and I opened a book and I started reading. And in about 30 seconds, I heard a loud, high-pitched, screeching voice coming from the area of the pool. And it went something like this. "That's it, Wendy. That's it. Come on. Come to Daddy, Wendy. Come on, you can do it." So I look over, and I see this toddler and about 115 different personal flotations devices inching her way to the edge of the pool. "Come to Daddy, Wendy. That's it. You can do it. Dive. You can do it. Dive into the pool," and then all of a sudden, splash. Great big splash. "That's it, Wendy. That was an excellent dive. Great dive. You are going to be an Olympic diver someday. That was just perfect." And I thought to myself, that wasn't diving. That was falling. Well, the man's exuberance continued, encouraging his daughter and saying, "Now swim to Daddy, Wendy, swim to Daddy. That's it, you can do it." He was getting so excited. Splash, splash, splash. "That's it, Wendy, you're going to outpass Michael Phelps someday. I'm so proud of you." I'm like, that's not swimming. She's floating. Joyce said, "Tim, settle down." Really, the interpretation of this is that the man was really calling attention to himself, and really what I heard the subtext was, "Hi, everybody, look at me, I'm being a great dad. I'm out here with my daughter teaching her how to swim, and I'm building up her self-esteem. Yay, look at me, aren't I great?" And that's the paradox, that sometimes we're building other people's self-esteem, and we're really tearing them down without knowing it. Now, I'd like to make a transition back to developing mind, body, and spirit so that we can become focused on other people's esteem or other esteem. I truly believe we can become fully concerned with other esteem by developing mind, body, and spirit. Can anyone tell me the number one way to build brain power? Let me see. Naija? Playing chess? Good guess, but it's wrong. Henry? Reading? Good guess. Reading makes you a better reader, but no. Scott? Playing with Legos. Another good response, but nope. Sarah? Excellent answer. That's it. The number one way to increase brain power is through cardiovascular exercise, increasing the body's capacity to circulate blood, i.e. oxygen, to the brain. In other words, the more oxygen the brain has, the more powerful the brain becomes. Another question, can anyone tell me the number 2 way to build brain power? Ted? Ben, I'm sorry, Ben. I think I need to go for a run to build brain power. Sorry about that. But good answer, but not the right one. Scott, another answer. No, you should have stayed with the first one. Nisha.
Doing algebra problems.
Close. Mr. Enos probably likes that, but no, that's wrong. Megan, you had your hand up. No, you changed your mind? Sarah. Meditation, you're correct. Smart kid. The number 2 way to build brain power is through meditation. Meditation, reflection, prayer. Having the capacity to relax the body, to block out noise, allows the brain to find its natural rhythms. I truly believe in the development of mind, body, and spirit. However, there is a danger of even this becoming a pathway to self-absorption. I think our school's primary focus in developing mind, body, and spirit is to become other-centered. In other words, how we use our minds, bodies, and spirits help others to authentically build self-esteem. I must admit, being on sabbatical, I found out I am an academic geek. You know the student who hands the paper in 2 weeks early? That's me. You know the student who has his hand up as soon as the question leaves the professor's mouth? That's me. Do you know the student who offers to carry the professor's books to her car? That's not me. Nevertheless, I found this exercise of completing assignments early and answering questions promptly mean nothing if others don't benefit from my development. When I return to Episcopal next year, after my sabbatical, and bring nothing back from which the students can benefit, then this year is a waste. As far as prayer is concerned, what good is it to pray for the poor and then do nothing to support the poor? Isn't that an empty prayer? In other words, prayer without service is spiritually empty, spiritually void. At my age, 48 years old, as you heard, as of today, I have discovered that running, which is one of my favorite activities in the world, becomes meaningless if I don't engage in it for some greater purpose other than for my own benefit. I think one of the reasons why I love coaching is this. It gives me the opportunity to share with young people the skills and knowledge that I've learned over the last 33 years of running. However, I have discovered that running helps me become who I am supposed to be, just as praying and studying help me to become who I am supposed to be. In addition, the process of becoming who I am supposed to be is for the purpose and service of others. However, in reality, I'm at my best in serving others when I see the image of God in the individual. I am at my worst in serving others when I fail to recognize this. Also, as Jesus states in Mark's gospel regarding what is the greatest commandment, and he states, love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your might. And he adds, love your neighbor as yourself. We can't love God without loving our neighbor. Therefore, we are called to develop ourselves in mind, body, and spirit in order to help others, in order to esteem others, in order to esteem God. Again, we are called not to worry about self-esteem, but other esteem. There is a danger in calling undue attention to ourselves through developing mind, body, and spirit, because oftentimes they are done on public display, in the classroom, on the athletic field, or in chapel. People see what we do. I have to admit that I used to run races to collect medals and awards and to beat a certain time or a certain person. I remember running towards the finish line in races and throwing my elbows at competitors to gain an advantage. Something along the way has changed. The idea of loving God and loving my neighbor finally made sense. Also, I discovered that my mindset changed when I started running ultramarathons. I found that the people in these races worked together, worked with each other, because all of us running these distances were vulnerable. Oftentimes, the trails in these ultramarathons aren't marked well or marked at all, and so when we come to a fork in the trail and there's no marker, we have to work together. One group goes to the left, one group goes to the right. Whichever group finds the next trail marker goes back and gets the other group. I remember when I ran a 50-mile race. I ended up running the last 15, 16 miles with a woman. We encouraged each other and kept each other going. When we approached the finish line, I didn't throw any elbows at her. I let her go first. At that moment, I realized I wanted to start running races for other people. Now, as a part of my formation for the priesthood, I do use running as a part of my ministry. I've been assigned as a part of my parish internship to develop a relationship between St. Asaph's Church in Ballackinwood and St. James School in the West Allegheny section of the city. St. James is in the West Allegheny section of the city. It's one of the poorest areas of the city, but also second poorest area in the country. St. James is an Episcopal middle school that will be opening to its first fifth grade in September. On June 18th, I am running a 100-kilometer race to raise money for the school. The race runs 62 miles of trails along the Mason-Dixon line and runs parallel with the Susquehanna River. I hear it's a very beautiful place. I'll probably feel different that day, though. Now, I don't want to be like the father swimming in the swimming pool, encouraging his daughter and calling undue attention to himself. I want any attention that comes my way concerning this race to be deflected back to the St. James community. Any help that you can give in today's collection will be going to educate poor children at the St. James community and in Philadelphia. Finally, education is the best way for one to advance in our society to become a productive citizen. We all have the opportunity to become advocates for others, and I think Episcopal Academy leads the way for this opportunity by developing mind, body, and spirit. In other words, we try to educate the whole child. Again, I think I'm at my best as a person when I see the image of God in others, when I'm aware of God's presence. I see the whole person with integrity and dignity. I see the person as God's gift of grace to me and to all of creation. Let us take a moment to pray so that we can develop mind, body, and spirit, not for our own self-esteem, but for other esteem. Let us remember especially those who are poor and who are in need of a good education. Let us pray.